Corona, and we are achievers, tenacious, and courageous. Salud.
No mires para atrás, el futuro no se encuentra ahí, no se encuentra nada en el mundo que no puedas lograr, con fe lo vas a conseguir, vas a conseguir.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Conversations with Ajusta tu Corona. We're taking a little different turn this evening. We are supposed to have a battle of the sexes. So what it looks like right now is that it'll be 2 against 1 because I'm your moderator. It was supposed to be 2 on 2. I am Lillian, your moderator for the evening, and we're just going to have everybody go around and introduce themselves. Richard.
I guess that's me. All right. Hey, everybody. It's just me, Poe Richie Rich. And I'm just here to dominate in all things men. Let these women know.
Brenda.
Margarita, you want me to go?
Yes, go ahead. Okay, we're doing like that.
Okay, perfect. I'm Brenda, and I am a female advocate, so I am ready to tackle on today. Let's get this going. Richard, I'm coming for you.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
It's on and popping. Hola, mi gente. Soy la Margarita. I am so happy to be here tonight. Richard, the ball is in your court. King Supreme. Let's see how you can handle it then.
Oh, it's on. It's on.
So I'm going to have a few critical questions, and then I'm going to break it up with some fun stuff. So I figure let's start with one of the critical questions. Because we are a group of domestic violence social awareness, I would like to ask the first question, and Richard, we're going to start with you, is why do victims sometimes return or stay with their abusers?
Most of it has to do out of fear. There's always that potential of changing the one that you're with, but that's very hard to do. But yeah, mostly fear. That's definitely, fear.
Ladies, any one of you
want to take this one?
No, go ahead.
So can you repeat the question? Why do
victims sometimes return or stay with their abusers?
I think it's comfort. I think it's sometimes we get comfortable, although it's not a good environment. That happens to us in a lot of situations in life. We can be in a relationship with a person, or a relationship with a job, or a relationship with a friend. And over the years, you become very comfortable in that relationship, even if it's unhealthy, that the minute you do decide to move on, you're outside of your comfort zone. So you want to run back, even if it's a negative environment. That's my take on it.
I think
I'll let Margarita go.
Sometimes they don't leave because they've been broken down emotionally, believing that they're worthless, that they're unworthy, that they're never going to get nowhere, that they're even lucky that they're there with him, that society isn't going to accept them because they're worthless. And so that what is that word where they become with their captor, because that is like you're in prison, where it's not so much.
That's Stockholm syndrome.
Yes.
Stockholm
So and I think through the brainwashing, that's what happened. So they don't have any desires to leave because they already believe that they deserve exactly what's happening to them.
I agree.
So when they do leave, let's say they do take that leap and they leave, they feel very uncomfortable in the world because this isn't my safe space. My safe space isn't that hell where I need to go back. That's why a lot of people do.
So in the beginning of this, it is not a battle of the sexes. In the beginning is what we're doing is an open forum. So we are letting people, we're getting the males point of view as well as the female point of view. I'd like to say good evening to Michelle. If you're out there watching us, please send us a note and let us know you're watching. The next question is it possible for abusers to change? Richard.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it depends. It depends on why he's an abuser in the first place. I mean, people that can make peace with their wrongdoings earlier on can actually grow and become somebody different, somebody better. So, I mean, there's potential there, but depending on the abuse, like I find for like narcissistic behavior, that's kind of imprinted and that's not going to change. So it depends.
Brenda.
I would think that it would take a lot of work and a lot of therapy, professional therapy, for someone to be able to change that. Because there are usually habits that are created that are born within environment as young as childhood. You don't necessarily know what they've been through. So unless a person, whether female or male, and I know this is the battle of the sexes and I'm giving a woman's perspective, but I think that it's super important to be open to do a lot of therapy and to know how to avoid the triggers that are going to make you want to, strike someone or verbally abuse someone. It's a huge growth. And I'd say that a small percentage of people can actually change that. And it takes a lot of work.
And I totally agree with what you said. That's exactly what I was going to say. I think that watching, being raised in a domestic violence environment, years later when I asked my dad, why did you beat mommy and all your other women? And he says, that's what I saw my father doing. And then I wasn't right because he never hit us. And I mean, it came to a point where he stopped doing that, but the damage was already done, right? So can people change? Absolutely. There's room for anything until your last breath to do. It's upon, especially if you're Latino, and I speak from my experience, so if you don't agree, that's totally fine with me. The Latino man is such machista that they won't let nobody know they need help. They won't want to go speak to a therapist. They don't want to put their business out there. So the change doesn't happen until somebody either gets hurt or they get arrested, and then like something gets turned on.
I think that's the generalization of men altogether, is that we're taught to not, show our feelings, not to feel any kind of certain way as far as, emotional. And that's kind of imprinted on us since birth, basically. So it's not just Hispanic men, Latino men. That kind of goes for men in general. And now we live in a society of weak men that are nothing but emotional. And we kind of overshot the medium point. So it's kind of tough to swing it back, but we're going to overcompensate and it's going to be kind of difficult.
But isn't that life? I think we always go from one end of the spectrum to the other because we're unsure, we don't know. But the thing is that we made the effort to make that change, right? And then
absolutely.
We can seesaw back. It's easier once you get to the opposite end and you're like, okay, now there's too much. Let me taper it back. But let me tell you something from somebody who never cried and didn't like anybody crying in front of me. When I see a man share his emotions, that is the most beautiful, rawest, just it's to me, it's like a miracle that to see that, because I was not a crier and I despise people crying around me. And now I'm on the other side of the spectrum, Richard. I ran to the other end. And now when I see that, it moves me beyond any measure that I can put into words, me being a wordsmith. So I think that's beautiful. I think that
Brene Brown talks. Yeah, Brene Brown talks about a situation that she had with her husband where they were on a trip, and the husband had a dream that the kids, they were in a lake, and they do this every year, and that the kids were hit by a boat that was going by. So the next day he woke up and he was very upset, and he kept brushing her off, and he kept just kind of being cold. And she said, "What's wrong with you?" She's like, she was in the water with him, and she's trying to have a moment with him, and he's just like ignoring her. And he's like, "I'm just stressed out." And he's like, "I had this dream that a boat was going to hit the kids, and I had to pick which one, and it's been bothering me." She's like, "But it's a dream." She's like, "No." He's like, "No, because if I am not able to save all of them, you would kill me." So it's that visual that men get, that we raise them from little to believe that they have to be responsible, they have to be the man, they have to take care of the family, they have to be the strong stone, that they can't show any weakness. And all day in their vacation, he could not tell her that he was suffering from this dream that he had, and that how was he going to save the family. And she's like, and she just wanted to just hug him because he just did not know how to share that. So it's where we raise our boys, our men, to, you have to take care of your family, you have to be strong, you have to be the breadwinner, you have to. So it's that old school mentality. And now, like Rich said, now the younger generation, they're so weepy, and it's funny to see the difference.
It's very sad.
To like our grandparents.
It's definitely very sad.
What is sad? Because I think that this generation got it right.
I
don't
too.
think so.
I think they're allowing their emotions to come out. They're not holding it in, where it's triggering negative energies, where they're going to just get upset if somebody asks, "What do you want for dinner?" Because how many people have gotten slapped over that question?
No, because of the showing of emotions, now we have entitled kids. We have spoiled kids. And that's the downside, because they're so entitled and so spoiled that they can't do for themselves, or that they refuse to do for themselves because they feel like everything's going to be handed to them. And that's not the way for a man to live, let alone anybody to live.
But you associate entitlement with crying, with showing emotion?
No, because the show of emotion has to do with neglect or the fact of not getting what they want.
Uh-huh.
So because of the instant gratification of this generation, they don't do for themselves. They don't promote themselves, and they have a hard time learning. And guess what? When you were younger, at the first sign of failure, what did you do? You got up, you dusted yourself off, and you went to do it again until you got whatever it was that you were doing right. That's not happening now. Now it's like, no, they're keeping me down. This is stupid anyway. I'm going to go do something else. And that's the problem. So it's not a matter of showing emotion. It's the fact that they show emotion too early. They don't try, and they choose not to do stuff for themselves. So what's going to happen when they become parents?
I agree and disagree.
Well, he's saying
I think that
entitlement, but I still think that the show of emotion is where it should be. I just think it's the parents, when your child is small, it's the parent's responsibility, I think, before the child has all this sabiduría to know, okay, I'm going to manipulate them, to say, levántate. Me, when I raise my kids, stop running, you're going to fall. Stop running, you're going to fall. If you fall, I'm going to hit you, because I done told you 3 times to stop running. They fell, they cried, I hit them, they sat on the couch, they were not allowed to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's different, though.
like you can still raise your kids.
But nowadays, the kid falls, the parents, ay, Maria, tú estás bien, right? Don't do it. Sit there. If they don't want to finish their food before they go play their video games, they're fussing, pues no coma nada, and they still let them to go play the games. I think if we ajusta tu corona, this is what I love about this, is what they're doing is they're trying to hand out the tools to these young mothers to say, no, tighten up. Every choice has a consequence, whether it's you make a good choice, then you're going to reap the good consequences of success and abundance, and vice versa with the negative one. So, and we need to, as parents, we need to hold our children accountable. And I think that's where the entitlement comes in, where we we don't, not only do we not teach them the word, how to say it, we don't teach them the meaning of it. We don't teach them how to live it.
You brought up a really good point with
I
that, with the whole the kid falling down. And today you have parents that want to sue the city because the sidewalk jumped up and tripped the kid. What are we teaching our children at this point?
I think
We have
it's
a
finding a happy medium. It's bringing in a new way to raise our children, right? So we want to make sure that boys are okay to show when they're in pain. We don't want to continue that. We don't want to continue to raise men that can't show when they need help, that can't go and feel like it's frowned upon if they go to a therapist and get help. But at the same time, we're still raising our kids with a little old school mentality and a little old school morals of, okay, like Margarita said, there is always repercussions to what you do. There's always a result to what you do. So make your decision wisely and make sure that we continue to raise our kids with that structure, but not always badger them the minute they say, I'm having a breakdown or something's wrong, especially for men, because for women cry and it's like, okay, it's almost expected for a little girl to cry, but a little boy to cry, it's like, why are you crying? Stop crying. Like, you know, and it's having that different mentality. So if we can reach these young mothers out there and we can bring some of the new generation, some of the old together, the good qualities, so that you're raising good adults, not entitled adults, not adults that want to go and pout in a corner when things don't go their way, but also know when to reach out when they are in need and when they need help, and that they're not going to look. And I love that about the new generation. They're not afraid to say, I'm hurting, something's wrong, because for years we've been dusting that underneath. I can only speak from my truth that, you know, my mom was like an old school, you know, generation where, you don't need nothing, above like that, and that's it. Oh, and that was her mentality. That's what she knew. So, cállate, you know, why are you crying? Like, oh, and so you don't take that minute to sit down and say, are you okay? Do we need to get you help? Because mental health is huge and it goes overlooked often, because especially in los Latinos and African Americans, we look at it and we're, you know, that's what we're frowned upon.
We have a couple of comments that I want to share. We have Lenora Ramirez, who said she agrees with Margarita. This generation got it right. Nina Perez says she agrees with Richie. And Lenora made another comment. Children should also hold their parents accountable.
Absolutely.
So these are comments from the audience. And now I'm going to switch it up on you for just a minute, and we're going to do a couple of fun questions. These questions are for the ladies. The wheels on a skateboard are often referred to as
Wheels on a skateboard.
Wrong. This question is for Richard. What do you call a single diamond set alone in a ring?
I feel like I know this.
Yeah, it's like right there, right? Not that I like that.
It's right. It's right there, but that's not the setting, is it?
Now, one more for each of
Didn't even
you.
listen. Women,
I heard
they
you.
don't listen.
I heard you, but I'm not giving you the answer. No, you have the wrong answer.
Okay.
This
I hold my mom accountable.
question is for the females. In the James Bond movies and books, what is the name of Bond's secretary?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Margarita, save us.
Is it Margaret?
It's something similar to Cash Dollar. Why can't I have that one?
Because that one's for the females. Now I'm going to give you another one for the men. Where would a woman use volumizer?
In her hair.
Ding, ding.
And the reason why I know that is because I have a bottle of volumizer in my bathroom because
The men
my
have
hair is
one, the
thinning.
women have zero. Now, back to our
Easy question.
I need to know, what do you say to your partner when ending a relationship?
Oh gosh.
Richard.
Oh man. That's all done via text. I ain't got to say much. Brenda, don't get so mad.
Okay, the men said
That is
they
the
do
most
it via text.
expensive thing.
No. That would be a more lengthy conversation over a lunch or something like that. So, but it's thanks. This isn't working out. I'm gonna do me. You do you. In that gist,
And,
not
and that is
necessarily those
exactly
words.
what Lenora said. Lenora you say it's you, not me. Ladies, what is your opinion?
I think women tend to tiptoe. We're like more sensitive. We're like, well, my needs aren't being met, and I feel really confused. And at the time, I just want to spend some time with me.
Yeah.
We're a little more like we go around the bush, unless you're like really like to the punch. Like, listen, it's just not working. You got to go.
I'm done.
But
I'm done.
I'm done.
She asked a question and I'm saying, okay, I walked away from every relationship. Was it all the same? No, it's just like, I'm done. That's it. I gave all I could give.
I think I try to justify the breakup. Like, things haven't been that great.
Go ahead. Keep putting yourself in that dark place so that way you could justify mean behavior.
And that's
Women,
it.
I know your tricks.
Yeah. That's
Michelle
it.
said, get to the punch, no around the bush.
Oh, fuck off. I'm done.
Yes,
That's
Michelle. Yes.
All right, this one is a little bit of a difficult one. How would you say, or how would you put forth asking a friend to pay a loan?
I think that if you started off, and I think just the friendships that we have, it's like you have, before you even hand the money in, that should be it. Like, when are you gonna pay this back by?
Right.
Payments or whatever. So by this time, I should have it by then. Don't make me chase my money. I don't know. There's many different. I don't want to chase my money. Please don't make me chase my money. But you have to, I think, initiate it. And I think with certain friends, you have that. You have that. Like, okay, I'm gonna loan you this, and then by this time, what do you think? And then you would answer. So it's already known without signing a contract. Okay, so I'm gonna give you this $500, and in 3 months you're gonna give it back, or in a month, at the end of the month you're gonna give it back. If you don't start off like that, it's not gonna end well.
Yeah, I think I would just send. I think it's always about like what like how you say, not what you say. So I would just be like, hey, friendly reminder. How are you? Because you don't know where a person is at that point. But you can just be like, listen, when do you think that you'll be able to pay me back that money? Just have a conversation about it. If you're friends, then you should be able to have that conversation easily. You don't have to badger someone. You don't have to be like, oh, where's my money? Just be like,
for 34 years, going on 35 years, right, Lil? And she'll be like, I'm like, Lil, I need this. She goes, okay, when are you gonna pay me back by? Boom, it's settled.
Yeah.
So then I'll be, and I'll say, Lil, how much do I owe you again? She's like, hold up, 33.21. And that's there's no threat between us. I think because we're very open with each other, and it's always, can I borrow?
yes.
Or I'll, or Lillian will say, okay, I got you. Just pay me back, by this time or when you can, and then when I get the money. That's how it's always been. So I think that's why I believe you have to set it up front, because the worst thing for me is having to chase my fucking money anywhere.
Yeah.
Because then
I know friendships that way.
And then if you don't want to remind them, then, you got to distance yourself. And one good thing about that is they're not going to come and ask you for no more money, because they're going to have like, shit, I already owe her. I'm not going to ask her no more. So, I mean, it's
Richard.
Okay, there's two options here. The first one is you never loan friends money because you're giving money away that you're not going to be willing to accept back. You're looking out for a friend. So you don't do the loan. It's kind of like a grant. The other part is if you do loan money, you bash them in the knees, you cut off their pinky toes, and you let them know this is business, not personal.
Richard, I'm never borrowing money from you.
I would
Yeah,
never.
after
I would,
that,
I
no
would
one
never
should
offer
want
to
to.
let. I would never offer a loan to begin with. So, I'm not saying that I wouldn't support. I'm just saying I'm not going to loan you money.
Mhm.
That's the way I look at loans. Is like, you know, it's not necessarily a loan, especially if it's friends or family. It's just like, here you go. If I'm in a position to help, I'm going to help. That's it. Because there's nothing I hate more than freaking having, just like Margarita said, chasing down a person. Yo, where's my money at? No. If I'm going to give it of my free will, I'm not going to expect anything back.
Michelle states she agrees with Margarita. Lay your cards in advance before lending or making a deal. Okay. Talking to a coworker who behaves offensively or makes suggestive comments. How would you handle that?
What kind of comments? Like
Suggestive or offensive?
male or female though. See that it's not a cut and dry thing right there.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I'm usually that
come?
person that they have to pull to the
That's
side.
what, you just get out of my head. That's what I'm saying.
I'm usually the one.
You have, yeah, you know me, I'm a joker. So
Exactly.
like what's the suggestiveness? Because I'm not anal at all. I'm very open. I laugh, I joke, I like sex jokes, I like all kinds of jokes. It depends. Like, is it from a male? What kind of, is it racial jokes? That I won't tolerate. So, but what? Like that one's a hard one, Lily, and I don't know if I can answer that one. Because I'm with Richard on that.
I think if it's offensive, it's offensive. If it's offensive, whether it's coming from a male or a female, if I personally feel offended, I won't tolerate it. I will pull that person aside and we'll have a conversation about it.
That's what I'm saying.
If I personally feel.
It's an open question because what
Right.
I would get, like I was bothered with the waitress when we were in training this weekend, but Lillian was not. So you know what I mean? So everybody takes things different. And I think it's upon each individual. If it's offensive, if a man is talking sexual stuff in a group of women, of course, you step up and shut him down. So it's, I don't know.
So we have a message here from Nina saying, if it's truly offensive, I tell them straight up. That way there isn't a next time.
Jay.
And Lenora states, Brenda is right. Every joke has a little truth and offensive jokes are not appropriate in the workplace. H&R today is super, super sensitive with the new diverse equity inclusion committees in every company. It's like you really can't say anything. Everything has to be straight and narrow and not look to the side.
No, that's
Right.
because you're pushing the whole sensitivity narrative. The whole conversation about having emotional children. Everything offends them. At some point, there's going to be a point in time where you can't even talk at work, regardless of the situation, because it's always going to offend somebody. There has to be a line to put into the sand to determine what is considered offensive or not. Because what's offensive to me might not be what's offensive to you. Like, I'm sure that me and Margarita will have a great time talking about everything under the sun, and anybody around us will be like disgusted by it.
And they're gonna learn some new shit because we're open and we're real. And
Yeah, but they don't want to learn new shit. They want to keep you.
But I agree
They want to
with
keep you
that.
from saying that stuff.
Sensitivity that's going around today. It's just te peina o te hace rolo.
Mhm.
You don't know where to go. But then I'm not in the workforce, so I will not. I'll stay mum to that.
There goes the point.
Okay, this one I'm going to be pushing it. Actually, let's take a couple more of our questions. So we ended with Richard gaining the last point. So this question is for the
Man,
girls.
baby.
Brenda,
Not
come
man,
on.
baby, but
man.
man.
What position does English soccer star David Beckham play?
I don't know. He had a great right
Oh.
foot, a great left foot, a great back. I don't know. I don't know.
It's like here, but I can't remember.
Get it
Oh,
out.
my daughter-in-law would kill me.
5.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. We're gonna loop that.
I know. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. Oh,
Okay.
I don't know.
Richard, where does a woman apply rouge?
The cheeks.
Ay, qué lindo.
Ding, 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 ding.
You got 2 Annas. That's not cute. You are
Okay,
my
ladies, here we go again.
I'm gonna leave you on the dust. Trust me.
Eh.
Why do they give the women all the sports questions? What would a golfer be practicing if they were working on their short game?
Oh, I don't know. Margarita, save us, because I'm like,
yeah,
You're
because
not even paying attention. I'm sitting here like,
we were just talking about golf yesterday with my son-in-law and I. Hold on. Wait, don't do the countdown yet.
add 10 seconds to the clock.
Yep, it's 5, 5, 4, 3, 2,
I feel like I know, but I
One.
don't know.
and
Putting. The short game is putting.
Putting. Shut up, Richard. You could have texted me.
that's exactly what it is.
I'm sitting here like this. I'm like, hello. Mini golf.
Richard, what is the commercial slogan for L'Oreal hair care products?
Shit, I don't even know that. I don't watch commercials.
Margarita, don't say that.
Isn't it? It's L'Oreal.
5,
You cannot cheat.
Isn't it? It's
Four.
L'Oreal.
3,
I got no freaking idea.
2.
I don't know either.
It wasn't in a YouTube video, so I have no idea.
And it is 2-0. Okay. So this next question, I feel is personal from both ends, but I would like to hear the answer for both ends. You are in a live-in relationship with a partner, and you are not having your needs met sexually. How would you handle it? Would you tell them that you're gonna leave them? Would you try to work on it? Or do you feel that you are entitled to forcibly take it?
I feel I'm not gonna leave them. I am going to master the art of masturbation. Maybe introduce some toys to the room and entice him to participate to see if we can grow together in that part of our relationship. Because that's what I would do.
I would definitely take lead, have a conversation, and just show him what I like. They don't have a crystal ball. You have to show them what you like. Everyone has a love language, even a sexual language. So if you're not being met, have a conversation. You're adults, and say, this is what I like, and give him a chance to show you that he can do it, and show him exactly how you want it.
Of course, but I would. If my needs aren't being met, then that means I'm sexually frustrated. So before I make a rash decision or an unhealthy decision, I'm going to master the art of masturbation. And then we will have the conversation as we're learning one another in that safe space of ours? You understand?
Find a really nice lady of the night.
That's what you would do?
No, no, I'm kind of on board with what Brenda said. Is just a matter of learning more and uh, exposing them little by little to reach that level. So, but if it's not happening, it's not happening, and if nothing else is happening, then see ya.
Yeah, so conversation. Yeah, I think I thank you, Brenda. I like your response. I also like mine because it's all about learning. I'm gonna learn me, then I'm gonna teach you how to learn me, and then we're gonna.
Well, I agree with what you said.
Yeah.
I think every woman should know their body very well, and you should spend some time with your body alone.
You're
So that-
right. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
The
Yeah,
next
I guess.
the next question has to do with religion. If you are
So
not
ominous.
if you are not on the same plate, you believe in one thing and your spouse believes in the other, how are you handling that? Are you respecting each other to practice his or her religion, or are you trying to sway them over to your religion?
Totally respect, because I don't want nobody meddling in my beliefs. I'm a very spiritual person, so I don't follow religion. So my husband was never introduced to church, never really spoke about God or anything like that. So I would, and then he asked me, "Why do you always say this?" Or, you know. So I explained to him about my God, and then I left it open for him to want to learn about in any way that he can. People that I've met, I'm not going to judge your religion. Judge not, lest be judged. I think you got to
I agree with
respect.
Margarita. Yeah, I agree. Everyone has their own beliefs. You should respect each other. And I think when you're in the dating process or the getting to know each other process, those conversations are already coming up. You should already know, once you're in a relationship or you're moving forward with a person, what their beliefs are and what are yours, and always respect their beliefs, and you have yours. A person has a relationship with God the way they want to have a relationship with God, or they don't because they weren't exposed to that, and that's okay. You still have yours. I agree.
I think it depends. I think it depends in the sense of if you want to have kids. Because what ends up happening is there are clashes in religion when it comes to kids. So I think the best thing to do for spouses is to engage one another in each other's religions, and come to an understanding that, okay, this is what you're about. Come see me. This is what I'm about. Let's meet in the middle. Let's do our best to raise our children. Because a lot of people tend to forget that, and I think it's tradition in the Latino community for the kids to follow the mother's religion, to be baptized, or however, whatever the mother is, the kid is going to be that, not the father's. So I think engaging when it comes to religion, definitely engage, share one another's religion, share each other's viewpoints, or at least find that common medium, because you never know what you're going to find out. And more than likely, 9 times out of 10, you're actually going to unite.
Yes.
Because the 3 main religions, the Abrahamic religions, are all founded under the same belief. Whether it's Judaism, Islam, or Christianity, it's all the same. They diverge a little ways after, but typically they're all under the same umbrella.
Yep, the concept was right. Yeah.
So partaking in each other's religions is actually a benefit. So that way you're not left in the dark, or your partner's not left in the dark about whatever the practices are or the celebrations are. So
Absolutely.
It's an enlightening moment.
It is. And that's what you do. You talk about it, you share your what you believe in without judgment as to what they're doing, unless they're like following the Church of Satan. But other than that, everything should be fine where you can discuss
No,
it.
I think the occult is included in that. You know, one thing to go as a, you know, if you're a Christian and you're married to a Muslim, why not go to the mosque? Why not go to the church? You know what I'm saying? And the occult is the same thing, because it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. It's just viewed differently. That's the actual difference. That's the definition of the occult. Is it's not very well known. It's different from everything that we know to be, you know, public knowledge. So trying to come to an understanding about that, that's, you know, that's a beautiful thing. Now, if you're sacrificing goats and babies, then yeah, you slay the spouse that's doing that.
That's more to where what I was saying. This is
Yeah, that's different. No, yeah,
Yeah.
that's different. Well,
No.
Santeria is the same thing. I mean,
Santeria is a religion.
exactly.
But you know, I respect it. Espiritismo, I respect it. You know, Muslims. I know Muslims. I love to listen
Yeah.
to them. Talk to me
I know
about
married
Quran.
couples of each. You know, I even know Muslims and Jews that are married. I'm like, how is that possible?
And I have family that are Jehovah's, who every time I post something about my dad, like I'll see you in heaven, they want to inbox me telling me there's no heaven. So it's like, and you just got to say, yeah, okay, how you doing? So yeah, it's all about being firm in what you believe in and not being easily swayed by someone else's beliefs, but learning to honor who you are in your spiritualness, so that then you can honor your partners and their chosen.
Yeah, it's definitely about being open to it. Yeah.
Yes. And I think if that, you know, we are human, we're flawed, we're not gonna agree on what the hell we want for dinner. So that
Ain't
is
that the truth?
difficult. But the thing is, if you honor who you are and what your beliefs are, and you want people to respect that, then you got to show the same, even your partner. And Brenda's absolutely right. That conversation comes up in the beginning stages of dating. So if it's a red flag, you've been warned. Pay attention.
Very true.
Mhm.
So we have Nina Perez who says, "This is so fun. You are all great to watch."
Hey.
And Lenora, going back on how you would handle sex or the lack of sex in your bedroom, stated she was expecting Richard to mention something about infidelity.
They're called ladies of the night.
Michelle stated that respect them and their religion or beliefs.
Absolutely.
Now, I want to continue this a little further because I'm curious. So, Brenda, you stated that in the beginning they should have been talking about that, but I always feel that in the beginning stages of a relationship, love is blind. People is when it's passionate, it's when the love is there, it's when we get all the butterflies and the EBGBs in our stomach. So then you come to an agreement in your relationship as to how you're going to handle. Richard, you hit it on the nose with children. What do you teach your children? Are you going to teach your children one or the other? Are you going to let them choose? Or will you introduce them to both?
Both.
Richard.
That's for me?
Yeah, well, it's for both of you, but you can
Yeah.
start.
Oh,
No, I saw Brenda clutching her pearls. I thought she was ready to answer that one.
so when I was married, I'm divorced now. I was raised Catholic, and my husband at the time was Christian. So we were, kind of like, again, under the same religion but different beliefs, or we just attended different churches. And we raised the boys in both. We brought it together, and then when they got to their own age to decide, they made their choices. But crazy enough, I went and left the Catholic religion and went to my husband's religion, Christian, and I've been Christian ever since. And it wasn't because he forced it on me. It was my choice. We brought it into our home equally. And I listened to what he said and how he was brought up, and he listened to me. He actually went and did his communion so that we can get married in a Catholic church. And then years later, we ended up being part of a Christian church. So we had both religions in our household. And when our kids became of age, they chose what they wanted. The important thing for me, for my children, was that they built a relationship with God. That was the important thing for me. And if they decided one day that they didn't want,
but that's what I was getting at. When you respect somebody, I don't care what you are, because God is one in any relationship. We spent the weekend with Junior, who was Muslim, and we were having this conversation by the kitchen counter. And I said, you know, Jesus in the Christianity and Catholicism is the Son of God. He was the Messiah. But in the Quran, he's a prophet like Muhammad, but he's mentioned more than Muhammad in the Quran. So he's still like, but it's all about the God who has many names, but is one God. So I talked to my kids growing up about God. I was baptized, communion, catechism, all in St. Augustine's Church on Washington Avenue in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Both my kids were baptized in St. Augustine's Church. You know, I was raised Catholic, went to the wayside, life happens, you know, spiritual, espiritismo, all of that. Not ashamed. I love it. I know I'm a spiritual warrior. I was prepped for that. But when I went to Spain, I stopped in every single, boy, they do not have a shortage of Catholic churches in Spain. And everyone I came across, I went in. But it's about God, and people want to put labels on it. In my opinion, don't get upset, anybody. It's my opinion. You know, with Testigo Jehová, Catholic, Christian. It's just, you know what? Just feed your spirit with the knowledge of God. And that's what I shared to my kids. So they say bendición, they pray, they ask for blessings. And what more can you ask for? They are aware that there is a God in their life, that there's something bigger than they are, that there's something they can reach out to. And I'm happy with that.
Yeah, it's where you find your comfort, is where you find your understanding. I grew up Catholic and half the time would leave church and not feel filled. Does that make sense? I would be sitting there all day and feel like, and I used to actually dread. So
you're wondering, wait, is it time to
I would dread going to church. I would dread having to do, you know, like my confirmation and all that stuff. When I started to go to, you know, a Christian church, it's where I was able to develop the relationship I have with God today. So it wasn't because my husband, it was because I made that choice, because it's where I was able to build that relationship with God. And I've always given my kids that chance. My son, his fiance, she's Catholic. So, you know, and he tends to be more towards Christian, and he has that conversation with me like, Mom, you know, I have to do, you know, my confirmation. I have to do all this so that we can get married in a Catholic church, because that's what she wants. So those conversations, trust me, come up often. And I just say, just respect each other's, and that's what I always say. And don't let your spouse convince you that you have to follow theirs. You should be open to just learning about what your spouse loves and their beliefs.
What about if they don't believe? You gotta still respect them. But Richard, you were talking about the three Christians. Isn't Catholics considered Christians?
Catholics are considered Christian. All Catholics are Christians, but not all Christians are Catholics.
Absolutely, that's what I was trying to get. Okay.
That's why I think that Catholicism is the best one to start with.
Yep.
So that way, when you walk away from it and walk into a Buddhist temple, your friends who are Catholic can still name you a godparent. Raise that kid. No, my idea behind it is, I think if you celebrate both beliefs, both celebrations, I think that gives a kid better leverage to make a decision on what he wants to do. Or if he doesn't like either one, then he can walk away. But at least he knows the history of it. He knows why it came to existence, why so many people, you know, follow it. And then from there, make faith-based decisions on how he wants to live his life, as opposed to ignoring both. And then, you know, then he's left with what?
Feeling empty.
The big empty. Yeah. I think, for example, like my middle daughter, her mother takes her to church because she is all about church. And I'll leave it at that because I got more words for that, but I'll leave it at that. But she's dying to go to a Buddhist temple. And I'm like, that's great. Let's go.
Me too.
It's just a matter of clutching away the claws.
Buddhist temples are beautiful, right, Lillian? We went
Yes,
to
they are.
a million of them. But I just want to say that at 19, my son told me he didn't believe in God, that he thought the Bible was a joke, that it was written by such and such, and that he believed the Quran more. So I said, well, talk to me about it. And nothing, right? So I said, before you make that judgment, do me a solid. Read the Bible, not in its entirety. Just open it up, and wherever it opens up to, read it. Sit down, close your eyes, absorb it. If you're confused, read it again. Read the Quran the same way, wherever it opens up to. That's your message of the day. And then come back to me with that. And I left him on his own. I didn't say, oh, you're crazy. How can you say that? No. He had to come into it in his own so that he can value it, so that it can be something that was nurtured from within. And that today he's 31 now. And he values both. He loves the Quran and he respects the Bible.
We have Trinity Serena on, who stated to Richard that was when she was 12. Which
it wasn't that long ago. It was a few years ago, but it wasn't that far gone.
Thank you all for participating in that open. No, we're not done. We're done with the open forum and the critical questions you all saw, and we're gonna try to end the show on a happy note, and we're gonna continue with our male versus female questions. So the next one is for the women. Come on, ladies. What short-handed flat metal tool do you use to spread, shape, or smooth out plaster?
A spatula?
It's got a different name, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I do.
I just used it in my bathroom. It's right there. Shorthand. Why
It is.
Okay. What is the setting
was it?
agent? A trowel. TROWEL.
Oh.
What is the setting agent used when making jam? Richard.
Say that again?
What is the setting agent used when making jam?
Trent, help me out here. One, I don't even know what jam is.
Like jelly, jam and jelly.
Oh, gelatin.
No.
Oh.
Here we go. On the TV series The Simpsons, who are the Simpsons' next door neighbors?
Oh gosh.
This is Margarita's show.
Can I steal this one?
She can't get this. If she can't get this, you're in trouble.
He's the guy with the bigote. Hold on. He's the guy with.
Oh my gosh. What is Chanel's most famous perfume?
Number 5.
That question was for Richard.
That was Richard.
Yes, you gave him
It's,
a point.
it's number 5. Everybody knows that.
All right, Richard, let's give you the next one. What type of beauty products does Paul Mitchell make?
Those are hair care products.
Absolutely. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, he got all our questions, right?
Because I
Okay.
was definitely going to answer that Chanel one for sure.
Ladies, where would you find a motherboard?
Oh,
And a
that's
and a
for the
computer.
Ding, 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 ding.
About time.
I said Flanders and Trinity said Flanders. Ah, missed it by what? I added a U.
All right. Richard, which cosmetic company uses the slogan, maybe she's born with is?
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Ding, 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 ding,
Oh,
ding, ding, ding,
they're easy. Those are
That,
All
one was,
right.
that one was pretty easy.
Ladies, come on now. In archery, how many points do you get for hitting the center ring?
Oh
Um,
gosh.
Wait. Perfect 10.
There you go. Ding, 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 ding.
I'm archery. I'm a damn Sagittarius. I should have been an expert already.
What shape is a princess cut diamond, Richard?
Is that four sides?
What shape
Like a-
is that?
Like a square?
Ding, 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 ding.
Like a square.
Ladies,
like a-
it is 5-2. Let's go.
You guys are getting dominated.
Yeah,
It's sad that I know this much about
The
women's craft.
company
No, you just
Rolex,
like too much commercials.
That's
the
true.
company
That's true. Thank you.
Rolex
That's
is
true.
best known for what product?
Rolex, a watch.
Ding, 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 ding.
That was a given.
Yeah, thank you.
You got some easy ones.
Maybe
Uh,
it's me.
What cosmetic product works well for repairing a run and pantyhose, Richard?
Wait. Repeat that.
What cosmetic product works well for repairing a run in your pantyhose?
Blush.
Ladies, you have a chance to come back.
Like, I don't remember seeing that in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Nail polish.
Michelle wrote nail polish.
Damn it.
LOL.
I just saw it.
In golf, what sort of clubs are numbered from 1 to 10? Ladies.
I'm
Why do we
thinking.
get
Like I was just on the This is ridiculous.
This is hard. Why are we getting the hard
Wedges.
questions?
So
Or irons. Irons.
that's exactly what they're called. And why? And this proves my point. All of the questions that I have given the females are for men. And all of the questions that I have given the male are for female. So who knows who better? Okay.
Brendan's
What does
face.
Sandra Bullock,
Well, if you
Richard,
want to be,
this one is for Richard. What does
Miss
Sandra Bullock
Congeniality.
do for a living in the film while you were sleeping?
Oh, crap.
Ha ha.
She was an assistant, wasn't she?
That's 2 weeks' notice. No.
And ladies,
Miss Congeniality.
in baseball, the shortstop covers the infield between which two bases?
Second and third.
Ding, 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 ding,
there
ding.
you go.
All right, we're 5-4.
Oh, snap.
Richard, what's a bangle?
It's a bracelet.
No.
Yes.
Oh, you're talking about jewelry.
Yes.
A tiger. That's the other one.
Yeah.
Ladies, in
It's a crappy
poker,
Cincinnati football team.
what do you call a sequence of 5 cards all in the same suit?
Is it a flush? No, it's a, I don't know.
You
I
got
don't
it.
play cards.
All right, 2 more questions to break the tie.
What do you mean we're tied?
We're
It was
tied.
5-4.
Hey, we are tied.
It was 5-4
5 to
before.
5. 5 to
I wasn't.
5.
I got the last one right.
Well, and so
I should
did
have
Brenda.
6.
And so did Brenda. But you
So-
know,
I'm
Why does
coming
my
for you,
score
Richard.
stay the same and you guys get to advance? It's 6-5.
Yeah, you're right.
Ain't no
I'm
tiebreaker
coming
here.
for you, Richard.
Oh, and Richard is up. What is a pumice stone used for?
A pumice stone? Say it
Yes.
right. It's for exfoliating and scraping crap.
I can't stand you.
Okay, this is the last
I should get
question.
bonus points for correcting you on pronunciation.
What do you
I'll probably
call
lose a
the
point for
cord?
that.
This is for the ladies. What do you call the cord that opens up a parachute on descent?
Do,
Oh, my
do, 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 do.
And that
The
is
ripcord.
the
Is a
men
ripcord.
have won. It is called the ripcord.
The
The
ripcord.
men have won the contest, and the audience should decide who won the open forum. Now,
Oh,
we are
that
going
was
to
a
make.
competition.
Michelle said it's called the open bitch button. As you're coming down to earth, flying,
I'm
right?
thinking pull cord until it came.
Thank you all
Sorry,
for
Brenda.
joining us tonight. We would love for you to join us again. We will have another session. Next week's session is our Spanish session, and the topic of conversation is self-love. We are also now have our own webpage. Please look us up, www.ajustatucorona.com. Went live today. We are also hosting our annual gala on October 29th. It will be held in Stratford, Connecticut. That is also on the webpage if you want to take a look at it. And our other co-host, Francia, is visiting her beautiful country of Colombia. So she will not be with us for a couple of weeks. And once again, remember, you are beautiful, you are loved, you are exceptional. Never forget to ajusta that corona and keep it moving. Margarita.
Yes, buenas noches. And just remember, you are enough. In every circumstance, in every situation, you are enough. Brenda?
Thank you so much for having me, ladies or gentlemen. You are worth it. Remember that.
Richard.
Classic cliche. Always be the change that you want to see in the world.
Absolutely.
My
Thank you,
favorite.
everyone.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.